The 5 unity principles are ideas that make up the belief system of unity. The principles are believed to nurture spiritual growth, abundance, and a fulfilled heart. The principles are essentially: 1, there is one presence and power through the universe, and the universal spirit is good. 2, our essence is of the spirit, therefore we are inherently good. 3, we are co-creators with spirit, therefore we create our reality through thoughts held in our minds. 4, through prayer, affirmation, and meditation, we can align our hearts and minds with the divine spirit. And 5, through thoughts, words, and actions, we can live the truth we know. The last principle especially captures that if we can live our lives using these principles as tools, then we can align to the spirit and we can create a more fulfilling and spiritual understanding. Now I'm going to start with an opening prayer. I invite you to get comfortable in your seat, take a deep breath. I invite you to close your outer eyes and open your inner eyes. Divine Spirit within me, we feel your presence every day within us. We are so grateful for all that you bring us, and we are so grateful to be gathered here in this space, all together on this blessed day. And with that, we say amen.
We want to begin our time together by sharing our opening affirmation. I will say it once, and then I will ask you to repeat it with me. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the Good. Now together. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and the universe, God the Good. This is Unity's foundation principle. One presence, one power, one life living through and as each one of us.
The first unity principle states that God is active and present in everything, everywhere. This is shown to be true in nature, and every aspect of your life is applicable. Everything you see and hear and feel, God is present.
Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name is Caroline Chigas, and I'm from Unity of North Atlanta. I want to take a moment to explain what we're going to be talking about today, which is the natural divinity that is inside you, because God is there as well. And so that power that is inside of yourself should give you strength, not from an external force that you need to look for, to seek for help. You have the power within yourself to accomplish everything that you desire. So tuning into that voice, that power, that strength that you have is intrinsic to moving forward in your life and overcoming obstacles. Speaking from personal experience for a moment, I have found it really hard to balance my academics and work and applications from everything that is involved in being a senior in high school. But what I can find is that looking towards that interior force, something within myself that inspires me to understand that I have everything I need, is so empowering, and it's so vital to the entire process of growing as an individual. This principle doesn't only apply to yourself, however. It can also apply to everyone around you. Everyone around you also has God within them. This gets into the second principle, that because God is within you, you are naturally good, as is everyone that exists. But let's focus on the first one for today. So because God is within you and God is within everyone, that same power that you have exists within every other individual, to be tapped into, to empower your every action, your decisions, the accomplishments that you want to work towards, to discover discovering what your true passion is and how you can implement that into your life. The shared truth that everyone in the world has a light within them is a form of connection.
So, as Caroline mentioned, this principle is really foundational to unity. But with that, it's also one of the most debated and one of the hardest to implement, because as humans, we're looking around at the world around us, we're looking at our situation, we're looking at our circumstance, we're looking at the people that are around us. And a lot of times we're seeing all of the negativity and all of the tension that surrounds us. And we're just thinking, well, how could God allow all of these things to happen? And oh my goodness, I'm having a really tough time seeing the good in this person. How could God or spirit or source be present in them if they're doing all of these terrible things or if you're having challenges? So again, this is a really highly debated concept, but as you continue to learn more about it and as you continue to kind of experiment with it, there's a lot of ways that you can implement it into your own life. And so I want to talk about a couple of the tools that have helped me kind of see that principle come into action. So my first tool is getting curious. And this is really a good tool that I like to use because especially in traumatic or challenging experiences, it's really hard to see that existence of God or of source within every single circumstance or in every single situation. And so what I like to do is I kind of like to reframe this principle in my head, because the principle itself, I want to make note, does not say that every situation and that every circumstance is good, but it does give us the opportunity to take responsibility for our own perception of things and reframe it in our mind. And what I mean by that is we need to work to find good. We need to work to find God in every single person, situation, and circumstance. And how I like to do that is I like to ask myself questions when I'm in a really tough situation or I'm having a challenge with a person, and I'm trying to locate the good in it. I like to ask, how can I grow from this? Or what is this experience trying to teach me? And I think getting curious in this way and reframing your perception is a really good start to trying to locate God and good in every situation and every person. And this really helps me to implement this principle in my own life. So the second tool that I like to use, especially when I'm having trouble implementing and finding good in situations and specifically in people, is I like to talk to their higher self. And what I mean by this is that if we're following the first principle, it states that God and this presence resides in every single person. And so what I do is I talk to their higher self. So I come from a place of seeing God within them and seeing their divinity. And it's easy to do because maybe I don't appreciate their behavior. Maybe I don't love or accept their personality or their actions, but what I can love and accept is the presence of God within them. And so I always talk to that presence because I know I'm communicating with something that's past their behavior, past their personality, and past their ego. And that's a really, really important thing for me to do, especially when I'm trying to implement this first principle. So my last tool that I use is just to continue to remind myself and to remind others of their divinity. Because if this principle serves to be true, and I definitely resonate with it, that means that if God is in every single aspect of existence, then God in that presence is within you too. And that means that as this presence, you have the capacity to love unconditionally because that is at your core. Whether it be a challenging situation or a person that you have an issue with, you have the capacity to find good, to find God, and to find love within that.
Let's all just get comfortable in our chairs, release any tension, and just take a few deep breaths. As we prepare for this time in the stillness together, let's allow a few moments to focus on our personal prayer for the world, for ourselves, and for each other. Take a few more deep breaths in and out. Inhaling grace and exhaling worry. With each breath, I feel the presence of God wrapping itself around me like a blanket of divine love. In this moment, I hear Spirit gently say, "You are loved. You are my divine child. And it is my good pleasure to give you the kingdom." As I connect deeper to source energy, my body and mind become even more relaxed. I feel so held in the arms of grace as I surrender all need to control. I rest in the knowing that the presence of God is always with me, leading the way, directing my every move, and never ever leaving or forsaking me. I consciously release all fear or discouragement or worry or tension. I hold this thought in my heart and declare it over my life. There is no separation from God. Wherever I am, God is. And just repeating that once more to yourself. Wherever I am, God is. And just rest in the knowing that you are beautifully and divinely supported in everything that you do and in every step of your life. And now, whenever you're ready, take some time to reflect on an area of your life you are seeking guidance and direction. And as you ask your heart to give you this guidance, become aware again of the one presence and one power that moves in all of creation, that moves in you and in everyone in this loving container. Now, say quietly to yourself, I slip into the awareness of my oneness with God. And once more, I slip into the awareness of my oneness with God. I can look forward with absolute assurance that answers and clarity are mine. They're mine to claim. I have full faith and trust. I know with all certainty that my thoughts, my prayers are heard. I know that God, Spirit, the universe, Source, is rushing in to offer me assistance in every area in my life. I take comfort in the oneness and the presence that flows through each and every one of us as we collectively celebrate World Day of Prayer. And once more, just knowing this again, that there is no separation from God. Wherever I am, God is. And as we come back to the room around us, to the chair supporting us, we affirm the presence of clarity, of knowing, and of peace. Thank you so much, sweet Spirit, and thank you, God, for my life.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.